Welcome into SWOSUathletics.com. John Liddle here with Teverick Boyd, junior receiver for the Southwestern Bulldog football team. Here on SWOSUathletics.com as we preview a big homecoming matchup against Henderson State coming up on Saturday. Teverick, it's been a couple of tough weeks for you guys. Whatever the case may be, offense, special teams, 11 combined turnovers over the last 2 weeks, and that's a really rough one to take. What have the coaches been saying about trying to eradicate that problem to this point?
It's little things, no turnovers, make smart decisions.
Absolutely. It feels simple going into a game, but when you're in the heat of the moment, I'm sure just those split-second decisions can be between, I know none of these go back to you, but those split-second decisions can mean, hanging onto the ball for a first down or having it go the other way for some reason.
Yeah, a lot of things happen. We try to do the most when we're down, whatever. We need to limit our mistakes, but when we get down, we try to do so much. We forget all about our techniques and what we're supposed to do is just more important.
Absolutely. So you've got to absolutely stay focused in any sort of game. But going up against Henderson State, they're a team that's incredibly fun to watch for fans. At the same time, it's got to be an incredibly tough challenge for you guys as well. What's your mindset going into a week like this when you've got the number 7 team coming into your place?
We have to practice hard all this week. We have to watch a lot of film. We can't take no breaks really. We have to get on our job really. We have to limit our mistakes even at practice, not just the games, at practice too.
Going into a game like this, when you're sitting there on the field during warm-ups, about to go out there, is there a different mindset that you have than going up against a different team in the conference when it's Henderson State?
No, it's just another game to me.
Mm-hmm.
It's another game.
Absolutely. Just got to do your best and try to come out with a W. For you guys on the offensive side of things, you had to use 4 quarterbacks a couple weeks ago. Last week, Clark making his first start as well. And I know you guys are behind whoever's there at your signal caller spot. But for the backs, the receivers, the offensive line, the guys around that quarterback spot, what's your focus right now while you try to work through, who's it going to be this week?
We don't know who's going to be this week, but whoever it is, us veteran receivers and O-line, we're going to build them up, and hopefully his confidence get up all through fourth quarters.
Absolutely. Talking with Teverick Boyd, junior receiver for the Southwestern Bulldog football team. Teverick, you caught a late touchdown pass from Clark there in that ball game against Ouachita Baptist. Brian caught one as well late in that game. When you're playing to the end right like that, you as pretty much a starter being out there at the end trying to put points on the board, does succeeding in that help build some confidence for you and the freshman quarterback?
Oh yeah, it definitely built his confidence going into this week practice, whatever, because even when we're down, we're going to keep fighting. We're never going to quit. We're going to keep fighting. Mm-hmm. Just to build his confidence up going to next week against Henderson this week.
Absolutely. Well, thank you so much, Teverick. We appreciate your time very much and look forward to this game this week.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
John Liddle back for SWOSUathletics.com with the linebacker for the Southwestern Bulldog football team, Austin Loomis. Little player profile. Austin, good to talk to you for the first time this year. Thank you for your time.
Thank you very much.
Freshman linebacker, redshirt freshman. You were here all through last year, but with that stacked linebacking core. Last year didn't get a chance to play on the field, but you went to all the road games. How does that help you being on the travel squad, even if you're not getting in there for a ball game?
Well, traveling with the team every week was a huge honor, and it was really fun. And it helps a little bit with the games, but what it helps most with is seeing how the team acts on game day, before the game, seeing how to get ready for a game, because you get to see Ryan Feller and Cale Swatsky, veterans, get ready for a game, so it kind of taught me how to get ready for a game as well.
Absolutely. Another one of those guys is Tyler George, who right now is still trying to come back, and I know you weren't leaving him out in any way, but that was my next question about Tyler. That's part of the reason you have a starting position right now is because Tyler is out right now. And you're trying to fill in that spot for him. Were you anticipating starting coming into this year, I guess, is kind of my bottom line question.
Well, I knew coming in that it was going to be a fight because me, Cale, Gentry, and TG, Tyler George, we're all pretty good linebackers, I think. And we knew coming into it that we were the top 4 and there was going to be a dogfight, but we're all good friends, respectable to each other. But, going into camp, it was just up in the air. Even Kale, Kale was, probably going to be a starter, but even he had to fight for his job. And it, came out to where it was me and Kale going into the preseason fall game, the scrimmage. We were the starters, and, really sucks. TG's a great player, and it sucks that he got hurt, but me and Kale were slotted in to start for that, and I think we're doing pretty good so far. But it helps a lot to have TG back just for a rotation, and he's a great linebacker, so it helps to have him back for sure.
Absolutely. Whitting's able to get back out there at a full strength level and be fully part of the rotation. How do you feel like that might make the defense even better?
Like I said, well, it's another veteran. Like, he's been here for a while, and it's just another guy who has game time experience. He played against Henderson. He's played against the great teams that we play. So the fact that we just have another guy out there who has experience, who's made big plays for us, and can hit people hard, it's always nice to have an extra big hitter on the field. And TG is definitely a big hitter.
We're talking to Austin Loomis here, and Austin, like you said, traveling with the squad last year, big honor, got to see how it goes on game day, especially on the road. But now that you actually get on the field this year, after 5 games in your freshman career, what was the biggest surprise about getting on the field, against some of these GAC teams? What were was there anything that kind of jumped out at you when you finally got out there and playing?
Well, it's kind of weird, but in high school, you play both ways, and you're never that out of breath. But for some reason, college football is it's a whole nother level, which obviously you know that, but there's times in the game where you're pretty out of breath, even if you're, switching in and out like the linebackers are. I mean, we have a great conditioning program, and it's been kind of evident with our fourth quarter comebacks and how well we play in the second half. But I guess that was the biggest shock, is that I just didn't expect to be that out of breath sometimes, but it wasn't never a big deal.
No, I hear you. You're playing half the plays, but you've got to play the plays at such a high level. Otherwise, you're not going to be competitive, I guess is what you're saying.
Yeah, a whole new speed. Like, they tell you that in high school, is that the speed is the biggest change, and that's the truth. I mean, everyone's bigger, but the size isn't as noticeable as the speed. Everyone's faster.
I understand. Hey, Henderson State, that's a fantastic challenge, but you guys get them at home. That's got to be a lot of fun, and a big motivation going into this game is to try to defend your home field against the number 7 team in the nation.
Yeah, and our 2 wins, right now are at home, and I feel like at home we just have really good momentum, and 2 fourth quarter comebacks in a row at home, and our crowd has been really great this year, and that definitely helps us a lot.
Well, let's meet you a little bit. You're from the Edmond area, went to Deer Creek. Deer Creek, I know you played linebacker. What did you play on offense?
I actually played center. We were a little short-staffed my sophomore year, and at 215 pounds, I was the starting center. But it was really fun playing offensive line.
What other offensive positions had you played before that?
Fullback.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So you'd gotten to carry the ball a little bit, and all of a sudden you're not able to do that. But did you gain a new appreciation for a lineman, or, I don't know, maybe just learn something you never knew before, so to speak?
Yeah, definitely. I try to give the offensive line here compliments every time I get the chance, because, being on the offensive line, you're not in the limelight. You don't get much attention, but those guys work really hard for everything.
Talking with Austin Loomis here, and so it comes down to decision day for you. You're a guy that had a ton of tackles in high school, and you had some offers out there, some chances to go places. Why did you end up picking SWOSU?
Honestly, it just felt like the right place for me. Just felt kind of like a second home already, just because of family, and I really was close to the coaching staff already, just because I had been to games. We had been talking since like my sophomore or junior year, so I had known them for a while. I was looking at D1 schools, but nothing ever worked out, and I knew that if I was to go D2, that my favorite D2 school that I've looked at was for sure SWOSU.
And as you mentioned, having family in the area, how does that help you? I mean, what's good about that? Is it, I mean, do you get to get some laundry done? You get meals, all of the above? What's going on there?
Yeah, not so much laundry,
Oh,
but
man.
we definitely, it's nice that my grandpa will buy me lunch, you know,
Yeah.
about once a week, and it's just, you know, it's nice when it's a crazy week in the summer, you know, summer practices, to be able to just kind of get in a comfort zone and just hang out with your family.
Mm-hmm. But you seem to be comfortable here. It seemed like right off the bat you were comfortable in town and you were comfortable with your teammates as well. What's helped you be that way?
It might just be my personality. I just hit it off with my teammates. They're like brothers to me, and I've never felt uncomfortable around them. Ever, I mean, even as a freshman, you know, Ryan Feller being a senior, I felt pretty close to him just right off the bat, and same with Kale Swatsky. He's one of my better friends here, and just everyone's been really welcoming.
Well, nobody's holding you to it, but what's your major right now and what do you want to do with it? Like I said, we could talk to you 3 years down the line. It could be totally different. I won't hold it against you.
Yeah.
But what's going on right now?
Right now I'm a health administration major, and I'm getting, just because I came in with extra hours because of AP tests and stuff like that, and I get the 5th year because of redshirting.
Mm-hmm.
So we're getting like kind of a business degree a little bit in health administration, but I'm pre-med. I'm getting all my pre-medical school like requirements out of the way. So I want to go to med school.
Fantastic, fantastic. Well, it's a lot of work for you to do while also being a starting linebacker for the SWOSU Bulldogs. Congratulations on your success so far. Good luck the rest of the way.
Thank you very much.
That is Austin Loomis here on our player profile. Just one of the things we do leading up to a game week, and homecoming week is no different here on SWOSUathletics.com. You want to keep it right here for all the latest updates. And of course, when the ball game comes up on Saturday, if you can't make it to the game, make sure to listen to 95.5 The Coyote. It'll be a 3:30 pregame. We're going to do a special 90-minute pregame show because we're going to, Austin's going to be my co-host the entire time. He doesn't know it yet, but a special 90-minute pregame show, full homecoming coverage, and then the kickoff at 5 o'clock against Henderson State. John Liddle for SWOSUathletics.com.